It's time for GMA3. Karen Reed back in court, facing a wrongful death lawsuit from the family of her former Boston police officer boyfriend, months after she was acquitted in his death. What Reed's lawyer is saying about what's ahead.
Yeah, you might want to tune in.
Rush hour. Why some young women and their families are paying thousands of dollars to help their daughters to try to get through the high-pressure week and into sororities.
Rush is not for the weak.
We go behind the scenes with one of the most sought-after rush coaches in the nation. And diving into Shark Tank.
I really wanted that.
You're going to really want to see what Michael Strahan is up to behind the scenes. It's time for GMA3.
From ABC News headquarters in New York City, this is GMA3.
And happy Monday, I'm Rachel Scott.
And I'm Will Reeve alongside Rebecca Jarvis. Thrilled that you can join us. We've got a lot to get into today.
We do have a lot, and I gotta say congrats, Rachel.
Oh,
Thank you. We're so happy to have you back, and hopefully you got a nice little break.
Very
there,
excited, and Will's next.
I am, but we're all about you. No, we're all about you.
And
we got time for me.
the spotlight changes.
All on Rachel.
Coming up here, we have Deals and Steals. Tori has beauty products to help you feel great from head to toe, and they start at just $6.
And Chef and Food Network star Christian Petroni joins us with recipes from his new cookbook, including his Napoleon-style eggplant parm, which is a little different from what most people think as eggplant parm.
Okay, looking forward to that. Sounds delicious. But we do begin with Karen Reed back in court after being acquitted during a high-profile retrial earlier this year. The Massachusetts woman was accused in the death of her Boston police officer boyfriend, and Chief National Correspondent Matt Gutman has the latest. Matt, good afternoon to you.
Hey, Will, even after that acquittal, Karen Reed is not out of the legal woods yet. John O'Keefe's family has sued her and the bars that served her that night. But today's hearing, that's all about Reed's team, almost the same one as in the murder trial, seeking to dismiss several of the counts against her and promising some sort of surprise. Karen Reed and her attorneys will be back in a Massachusetts courtroom just 3 months after a jury acquitted her of murder and manslaughter in the death of her former boyfriend, Boston cop John O'Keefe. The O'Keefe family has filed a wrongful death lawsuit against Reed and 2 bars in Canton, Massachusetts. This past June, Reed was convicted of operating a vehicle under the influence and sentenced to a year of probation. Prosecutors had accused Reed of backing her SUV into O'Keefe and then driving away, leaving him to die in the snow after a night of heavy drinking. Reed's lawyers maintain she never hit O'Keefe and that she was framed in a law enforcement cover-up. A previous trial in 2024 ended in a mistrial. Alan Jackson, Reed's lawyer during the criminal trial, is now spearheading her defense in the civil trial. You might want to tune in.
Really?
Sure.
Are you going to go, are you going to take some... Are you going to be forceful? Take some shots?
Anything we do on behalf of Karen is forceful. We're not going to sit back and just have the case come to us. I said this before, nothing's off the table, no one's off the table. But John O'Keefe's friend, Brendan Kane, telling me the family has been hoping for one thing.
What I really want is just justice for the family and those that love Johnny. Folks have kind of grieved in different ways, but you can't have that final piece, that final rest until this chapter of the story is concluded.
And that hearing is set for later today. Both bars have denied the allegations, while the O'Keefe family has been relentlessly pursuing justice for over 3 years now. Some of the family and friends tell me they are concerned that in this civil trial, they will again be the target of the kind of hatred and vitriol they endured at the hands of some Karen Reed supporters during the murder trial. Guys.
Yeah, 3 years and so much attention on this. All right, Matt, thank you. We're going to turn now to new developments in the Luigi Mangione case. A new motion by defense attorneys accuses prosecutors of playing politics, arguing the death penalty should be taken off the table. Chief investigative correspondent Aaron Katursky is here with more. Aaron.
Rebecca, Luigi Mangione has successfully eliminated a terrorism charge from his state murder case, and now his attorneys say the federal death penalty case should be the next to go. This morning, accused killer Luigi Mangione is urging a judge to dismiss federal charges that could get him the death penalty if he's convicted in the fatal shooting of United Healthcare Chief Executive Brian Thompson. His attorneys compared Mangione's dramatic return to New York, clambering out of a helicopter in shackles and surrounded by heavily armed officers, to a scene out of a Marvel movie that they said amounted to unfair, unconstitutional prejudice. The defense also pointing to public statements by Attorney General Pam Bondi.
If there was ever a death case, this is one. This guy is charged with hunting down a CEO, a father of two, a married man, hunting him down and executing him.
Defense attorneys said Bondi's statements were gratuitous and designed to make Mangione seem dangerous to the country and menacing to the Attorney General.
In this case, it is a little unusual because before the grand jury indicated that it would seek the death penalty, the Attorney General did make statements about this case. That is not typical, and that is why the defense counsel is seeking to have this indictment thrown out, or in the alternative, they're seeking to have the death penalty removed from the indictment.
Federal prosecutors have not responded, but they've previously said Mangione deserves a death sentence because he tried to normalize the use of violence to make a point. Mangione convinced a state judge last week to throw out terrorism charges, though that same judge noted there's evidence Mangione murdered Thompson in a premeditated and calculated execution. Mangione has pleaded not guilty. He's due in state and federal courtrooms in December. Guys, that's when judges presiding over both of the cases are expected to set dates to put Mangione on trial.
All right, Aaron, you've been following this from the very beginning. All right, Aaron Katursky, thanks. Switching gears now, we're going to turn to a big Monday Night Football matchup tonight. The Baltimore Ravens hosting the Detroit Lions, and Will, of course, has our preview.
Sure do. Going to be probably the best Monday Night Football game of the year, at least on paper. That's what our friend Joe Buck told us on Friday. It's a huge game tonight. Both teams have Super Bowl dreams. In fact, this could be a Super Bowl preview. Ravens QB Lamar Jackson, he loves Monday nights. He's thrown 22 touchdown passes without an interception on Monday night games. That is the longest such streak in Monday Night Football history. And it all started back in 2019 when he threw 5 TDs against the Rams. And the Ravens are hoping their superstar running back Derrick Henry can get back on track. He had 169 rushing yards in that wild first game of the season where the Bills came back to stun the Ravens. But last week, Henry only ran for 23 yards, and they'll need an effective Henry against Detroit, who has an excellent defense.
All right, so talk to me about the Lions.
All right, I will talk to you about the Lions. They had a tough opening week loss to the Packers, but Detroit is hoping to build on last week's domination of the Chicago Bears. They scored 52 points against their old offensive coordinator, Ben Johnson, who's now the head coach in Chicago. Jared Goff had a field day. He threw 5 touchdowns. That tied his single-game career high. 3 of those TDs were to Amon-Ra St. Brown. He's the 25-year-old superstar wide receiver.
Ooh.
He's been an all-pro 2 years in a row. He's looking for his 3rd straight year at the top of the league. But most importantly, both of these teams are looking toward the Super Bowl. The Ravens have won 2 of them. The last came in 2012. The Lions have never even made it to the Super Bowl, but this could be the year. Winning tonight would go a long way toward achieving those dreams.
Yeah, it's exciting. 25, you forget how young some of them are.
I know.
So good. All right. And coverage, of course, starts at 8 Eastern right here on ABC and ESPN. Coming up here on GMA3, a first look at the new Star Wars heading to theaters starring Pedro Pascal. That's ahead in Pop News. What's that? We're popping? We're popping? Or it's time. With Will.
Where else do we begin? But with Taylor Swift, of course. We tend to begin Pop News there. And with good reason today. She announced on Friday she's returning to the big screen with an, of course, 89-minute release party event. It'll be screened at all 540 AMC movie theaters on the day of the release of her new album, The Life of a Showgirl. Sources telling Deadline that AMC brought in more than $15 million in pre-sales on the first day, and this party will feature the premiere of the album's first music video, The Fate of Ophelia, plus behind-the-scenes footage from that video shoot, as well as lyric videos and Taylor's personal reflections on these new songs. Screenings of Taylor Swift, the official release party of a Showgirl, will begin simultaneously across time zones at 3 p.m. Eastern on October 3rd. You got all that?
Wow. Yes.
Okay.
Signing up right now.
Signing up, signed up, pre-sales. But now we go from movies to TV. It's a special that takes viewers deep into the disturbing world of online bullying, where victims desperate for relief turn to one man to help them reclaim their lives. And here's a peek.
I am a victim of cyberbullying. The harassment has been going on for almost a year.
Cyber stalkers embarrass and shame people.
I just felt powerless.
My job is to track down the worst bullies hiding in the internet's darkest corners. I'm locked in on who's been doing this to you. I'm going to bring them to justice.
I don't want to see you victimize anybody ever again.
And that new special, Bully Hunter, premieres tomorrow night at 10 p.m. Eastern and Pacific on A&E.
That's a really interesting concept.
Absolutely.
I want to see that.
Yeah, well, we will check it out tomorrow, 10 p.m. Eastern and Pacific. Finally, let's head to a galaxy far, far away because a first look at Star Wars, The Mandalorian, and Grogu has arrived on this planet, and that means the return of Baby Yoda.
Aww.
Here's a peek at the new teaser trailer. Yes, that was Sigourney Weaver stealing something from little Baby Yoda. The movie takes place after the evil empire has fallen and follows the duo as they embark on their biggest mission yet and fight to protect the new republic. Star Wars, The Mandalorian, and Grogu opens exclusively in theaters May 22nd of next year.
Oh, that can't come soon enough. Baby Yoda just makes you so happy.
I know, and I feel like every parent can relate to the idea of pulling things away on a table from the toddler who's grabbing at everything.
That's very true. All right, thanks, Will. And coming up, Tori Johnson, of course, is here with Deals and Steals. You won't want to miss it. Stay tuned.
All right, we're back with Deals and Steals, and Tori Johnson has beauty products to help you feel great from head to toe. It is so great to see you as always, Tori, and we love the beauty deals and steals.
We do. Okay, we're starting with Perricone. You are new to Perricone.
I'm new to this, but I love the packaging.
The packaging is fabulous, but the formulas inside are even better.
Excellent.
So we've got some of the new additions to their no makeup line. So it's makeup, but that's good for your skin at the same time. These balms, oh my gosh, it's just like a dewy glow. You guys are young, but I say like for the mature skin like me. I know, you're like the young one, the young, newlywed over here. But it's just like that dewy, beautiful glow. The skincare as well. So for the other mature ones, the firming lotion here, all 50% off and free shipping from
This is excellent stuff. I have it at home. I love it.
Something else that's excellent. 70,000 positive reviews on this baby right here. That gets your attention. This is Sky Organics. That's the organic castor oil that is really great for deeply nourishing hair and scalp. I didn't open it because
I put a little drop?
I don't think you can
because
I didn't open it because it comes out quickly and I didn't want to have any accidents.
All right.
But it's really, really good. The one that you have has the rosemary oil added, and so if you need scalp help, that one is fabulous. But people use this and swear by it on brows, hair. It really, really works for just strengthening, nourishing. It's phenomenal, and the prices are unbeatable at 50% off. Everything's under $10.
Wow. Hard to get that many people to agree on anything,
right?
Says the woman who covers
exactly.
Perfect.
Okay, by Terry. They are making their GMA Deals debut today, and this is all makeup-infused skincare. We've got a really nice variety from them. One of the collections that they're very well known for is their Tea to Tan, and this gives you that like bronzing glow without sitting in the sun. The palettes are gorgeous.
This is so pretty.
So beautiful, and what I love is that it complements any skin tone. Like everyone can look gorgeous with that. So go online, look for the Tea to Tan collection. It's fabulous, and it's all 50% off today. You cannot beat that.
Such a good deal, yeah.
Okay, speaking of hair and good deals, this is Bondi Boost. So we've got two different collections here. We've got one collection if you have just damaged your hair with coloring, styling, heat. Then you want the Rapid Repair collection, the Bond Builder. And if thickening and volumizing matters to you, then this one right up here is going to add instant volume in as quickly as one use. This is one of those collections where you're going to see results immediately, and with continued use, gets even better, and it's 50% off.
Of course it is.
It's 50% off. All right. Cosmetics also making their deals debut. This is a line that is esthetician created, so for estheticians, by estheticians, beloved by estheticians. There's a revert boosting right in front, teeny little bottle that is a brightening serum. It is a great vitamin C alternative if brightening is important to you and diminishing the look of any of those like dark spots that you don't like, any pigments that you don't like. Really great. It's a hydroquinone replacement to vitamin C or alternative to vitamin C. But all the products are great. 50 to 60% off on this one. Yeah, cleanser's really good too on that. And then Preta
Smells so
Provence.
good.
Finally, Will, we have an option for men.
He's been waiting.
He's been waiting. Your moral support to pour paint off. So that's one that it starts off with this kind of vibrant citrus scent, and then it ends in this what they call rich amber leathery scent. So we've got the whole collection of that. But really all of these pieces, the soap bars, unbelievable lather. We've got hand creams, really beautiful hand creams and soaps. I just love this line. You guys love it too. We've got the 9 cents that you asked for, all 50 to 60% off. And a shout out to Rachel's grandma, she calls me baby girl, so she's like my grandma too.
I love it. Thank you so much, Tori. We have partnered with these companies on these great products. You can get them at GMAdeals.com, or the QR code on the screen will take you there. Double deals tomorrow. Lara Spencer's favorite thing. And coming up, Michael Strahan goes swimming with the sharks.
Welcome back to GMA3.
Welcome back. Yes, it is GMA3. And Rachel, it's great to have you here today because you wear so many hats around here, so many hats, including the anchor of What You Need to Know, which viewers can watch on Disney+.
Yeah, it's an exciting day today because we are going to be rolling out our midday episode. It starts today. As soon as I get out of here anchoring GMA3, I'm going to go and record that. It's going to be available on Disney+. So this is What You Need to Know. We're talking about all the latest headlines in less than 10 minutes. If you've already been watching, you've already been seeing my buddy, my pal, James Longman. He's been getting you read in the mornings as early as 6 a.m. Now we're going to have an afternoon drop in addition of the show that kind of keeps those headlines going. So one conversation passed to another. And of course, what's so exciting about this is I get to continue my day job, right?
Yeah.
So wherever I go, we're going to be taking viewers along with us, whether that's the White House or the next big story. And we're so excited. It's all happening today.
And you touch down everywhere, so people will truly get to travel the world.
Yeah, and excited to bring viewers along with us and continue to bring the best headlines and the context that you see right here on Good Morning America. And of course, you'll see it on What You Need to Know on Disney Plus too.
It's such a great show led by such great people and digestible too. It's quick, it's easy, and it's really important. It is what you need to know, and Rachel is the face of it. Thank you so much, Rachel. And now, to a member of the GMA family here, this is sort of a hint about what's going on. He's swimming with the sharks, but not the ones in the ocean or in our studio floor, but rather the ones on Shark Tank. We're talking about Michael Strahan, and he tried his hand at making deals on the hit show as a guest shark, and we followed him behind the scenes. Take a look.
Yeah, we can do that. Yeah, let's do that. Done.
Yes.
All right, done.
Yeah, we got a deal.
Since 2009, Shark Tank has been helping entrepreneurs chase the American dream with inventors laying it all on the line.
My family and I have bootstrapped this business. I put my house on the line for this business.
Pitching their companies with the hope of securing funding from some heavy hitters in business. Some of this upcoming season's small business owners were in for a big surprise when yours truly showed up as a guest shark.
Michael Strahan joins the tank.
Ready to not only hear their pitches, but potentially personally invest in their businesses.
I'm a little nervous, obviously. It's a show I've never done. It's a show I've watched forever, ever since season 1, back 17 seasons ago.
I couldn't imagine being paired up, hopefully getting a deal with a better person than Mike.
Doesn't take too long before I get comfortable in the tank.
I want to make an offer. I can see where you're going, Henry. You got to ask questions that interest you. Because with 4 of the sharks up here, they're asking questions that, okay, I may have a thought in my mind, but there's always something new to come up. And I like the fact that we're all here to listen and learn off of each other and find out about these businesses.
You know, I've known Michael a long time. Shark Tank grew up on GMA. You got to remember that. The very first season we were on there, the very first Friday.
Now that I'm swimming with the sharks, I'm feeling the competition.
I'm showing the grasshopper how this whole thing works. He's learning from Mr. Wonderful.
Money and wine and guitar. You play the guitar?
Yeah. I think this is very good for him. Send him in every season for a little bit of nurturing and training, and he'll get better.
You've knocked it out the box.
Entrepreneurs are here at Sony Picture Studio in Los Angeles after traveling from all over the country to pitch products like blow-up dolls for your dogs.
One thing I do know is that people spend, as I do, ridiculous amount of money on their pets.
And remedies for snoring, eager for the free advice and serious money that one of us sharks may offer up.
Michael, what do you want to do?
I love what you're doing, and I'm a big, as Kevin said, I'm like Mr. Protein.
The shark experience has been incredible. I mean, the other sharks are great, and they're great at what they do. I'm just trying not to slow them down. But the experience, I was a little nervous at first. Now, it's just, I feel comfortable, and they've made me feel comfortable. it's competitive. After hearing rounds and rounds of business pitches, I wrap up my first experience in the Shark Tank.
I hate to draw a parallel, but he's just like Mark Cuban. The second Mark sat in that seat, he owned the set, and that's exactly what he did. So much so that for the first 2 pitches, I felt intimidated by him. And I've been here 17 years. What's going on here? Throw the bum out.
Oh, Barbara, you might feel intimidated, but Michael is one of the best, and he's one of the best to sit next to here at GMA and there at the Shark Tank. And to see if he made any deals, you can watch his episode on October 1st. And the new season of Shark Tank premieres Wednesday right here on ABC. It streams the next day on Hulu. Rachel, you are a huge Shark Tank fan.
The only thing I love
so
more than Mr. Wonderful, though, is Michael Strahan. So I cannot wait. I cannot wait. All right, we're going to switch gears now to the increasingly competitive world of sorority rush. Yes, it's so intense on some college campuses that parents and students are spending thousands of dollars on rush coaches. Stephanie Ramos is here with more on this. Stephanie, I was a little shocked. Thousands of dollars?
Yes, families go all out. They're trying to get their daughters into these sororities. It's a really big deal. Also, depending on what school you go to, right? It's really big in the South. I also feel like we're kind of in a sorority living this TV life and a frat will as well.
We didn't have to pay any coaches for
we
that.
do, right, exactly. But more than 100,000 women compete every single year to get into these sororities. We went behind the scenes with rush coaches and some families who pay thousands of dollars to help prep their daughters to try and get into these sororities. The outfits, the dancing, the cheering, and chanting. This is Sorority Rush. More than 150,000 young women across the country competing for that coveted invitation. What you don't see? The months of hard work and thousands of dollars spent.
Rush is not for the weak.
Rush coaches are now their secret weapon. Leslie Cunningham is one of the most sought-after rush coaches in the nation. We were given access inside one of Leslie's workshops in Dallas.
We're going to talk through some conversation prep, then we're going to pair off and we're going to do some practice.
These master classes are more than how to accessorize. They're dress rehearsals for a high-pressure week. Her strategy is tailored to where a girl is rushing.
If it's in the South, it's focusing on the rec letters, the headshot, the social resume. For the Midwest and the Northeast, it's really about social media and helping girls start making connections.
But this kind of coaching doesn't come cheap. From an online class for $500, up to $3,000 for the full treatment, which includes months of one-on-one work. Leslie says first impressions can make or break a girl's chances. In her workshops, Leslie often relies on Sadie and her partners for their expertise.
Most girls reported an increase in anxiety, even if they were having a successful and a good rush.
Sadie Mangi runs Gracefully Greek. She and 2 other therapists started this mental health service that helps prepare girls for the pressure they might face during rush.
They're going through this really physical, emotional, mentally draining thing. There creates that expectation that if I get it just right and I look a certain way, then I'm going to get the house that I want, as opposed to really focusing in on the idea that this is supposed to be about mutual selection. I'm trying to find my sisters and find a place where I feel comfortable.
If you want more of this, because there's a whole lot more, it is a process. You can stream Impact by Nightline's Secrets of Sorority Rush. It is now on Disney Plus and Hulu. Will, I know you will be tuning in.
What a world, Stephanie. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. That's quite the compelling story. And we have more compelling stories ahead on GMA3 featuring ESPN's Mike Greenberg and Paul Hembekides. They're here to tell us about their new book, Got Your Legends. It's sure to get sports fans and this group here on the couch talking. That's coming up. All right, we're back now with a real treat for me, for us, for you, America. It is Mike Greenberg and Paul Hembekides of ESPN's Get Up. They are the best-selling authors of a new book, Got Your Legends, ranking America's sports franchises and their most iconic figures. Greeny and Hembo, welcome to you. Thank you for walking down the hall to join us here on GMA3. It's a treat to have you, my friends. And this book is so up my alley, so up your alley too, both of you, with the stats and the historical context. And I just want to hear all about it. We don't have enough time to hear all about it, so we'll pick some highlights. this is going to start a lot of dinner table talk here. What's the idea behind the book? How'd you make your selection?
So there are two separate things that will create debate, we hope, from the book. The first is we rank every franchise in sports. So the 4 major sports leagues, football, basketball, hockey, and baseball, we rank every team from the very top to the very bottom. Your team is the worst, the best, or somewhere in between. And then out of every single team, we pick the 4 franchise faces for all of them. So the Mount Rushmore of every team in sports. So you can debate over whether your team is better or worse than another and who the 4 best players or people to represent them are.
And you got at the top of your fabled 4 the New York Yankees, and who's the Mount Rushmore in that bunch?
There was really only, you know, the Yankees, their backups could have been as good a Mount Rushmore as anyone else had, but there was only one foursome to put up there.
Babe Ruth has to be on the Yankees Mount Rushmore. Lou Gehrig has to be on the Yankees Mount Rushmore. Joe DiMaggio, your father's favorite player, had to be. And Mickey Mantle. These are, I think, inarguably the 4 greatest Yankees of all time. But as he said, there are so many other Yankees that would be on any other franchise's Mount Rushmore themselves.
Well, it's really interesting because that's a bunch of historical figures, and you might imagine that today, given where sports are, given where athletics have gone, that there would be more recent people like an Aaron Judge, for example, in that mix.
Aaron Judge right now is as good a right-handed hitter as we've probably seen in 80 years, and yet never won a World Series. Performed considerably worse in the playoffs than in the regular season. And for a franchise as fabled as the Yankees, that's what matters most.
He's trending potentially towards maybe making a chance at cracking a list like this. But here's the reason. I love your question, because the reason we started doing these books, this is the 3rd book that we've done. I love sports history, and I don't think people appreciate it enough anymore. So to your point, Yankee fans, some of them today, and it's not their fault, this is the way the world is today, they sort of think everything started with Derek Jeter. The Yankees were the best franchise in the sport for 100 years before Derek Jeter was born, and that's what these books are about. So not only will they hopefully create a lot of good debate and conversation, but people will learn things about sports history that I grew up loving and appreciating, and if they do that, then I will feel it was a success, whether they agree with us or not.
My mom's a big Yankees fan, and everything in my house did start with Derek Jeter. I'm just gonna say that right now.
I get that.
All right, so Green Bay Packers also in the top tier. So why, and also who's on their Mount Rushmore?
So the Green Bay Packers have won 13 NFL championships. That's another thing. People think that football started when they started playing Super Bowls. Football goes back to the 1920s, and the Green Bay Packers were the first dominant franchise then. They are a founding franchise in football history. They've had a million great players, and in this case, one all-time great coach.
Yeah, Vince Lombardi, one of the most legendary coaches in the game's history. But think about the quarterback lineage. Bart Starr, Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers. Each of those quarterbacks could be the greatest in maybe 2/3 of the franchises in the NFL. For them to have each of those 3, it's truly one of the great lineages in the history of major American sports.
You mentioned Favre and Rodgers. That was my next question. All right, which one's greater?
So I think that's a really interesting debate, and I think it hasn't been answered yet. I think Aaron Rodgers' tenure in Green Bay would be this much, just by a minuscule margin, better than Favre's. But Favre had some pretty significant success after leaving Green Bay, and Rodgers has not. They're 2-1 in Pittsburgh right now. We'll see what happens. But his time with the Jets was a disaster. Brett Favre had a great year in Minnesota, could have been the MVP of the league. So I actually think that what Rodgers does the rest of the way, probably just this one final year, might actually determine whether he or Favre wind up being greater.
And lest we forget Bart Starr, 9-1 in his career in the playoffs. The last quarterback to three-peat was Bart Starr in 65, 66, and 67.
See, these are the debates that books like this generate. That's why Greeny and Amber are the best.
And you know, I got my entire in-law family are Packers fans, and my husband taught my little baby to say "Go Pack Go" when she was playing on the swing sets here in New York. So this is perfect. I'm taking it to them. And thank you guys for being here with us today. And Got Your Legends is available tomorrow everywhere you buy books. And you can see if they're right about tonight's game on Monday Night Football. We didn't even get there because we had so much to cover tonight.
Ravens.
Okay.
There you go. Now you can check and see if they're right on ESPN. And coming up here, Chef Christian Petroni is here with recipes from his new cookbook, Farm to Table. Nice work, guys.
Well done. Thank you. You hear that snap? We're back. We're cooking with Food Network star and chef Christian Petroni. He's got a new cookbook called Farm to Table. It's full of his favorite Italian-American recipes. He's going to show us a couple of them right now. Christian, welcome. We're so glad to have you here. So, I mean,
the best.
What are we starting with here? It's your first cookbook. that it's a love letter to Italy and to the Bronx and all of your heritage, and you've got some classic Italian dishes here for us.
Yep.
I've got some eggplant in front of me. What are we doing with it?
Yeah, so we're gonna do two. I make two versions of eggplant parm, right? We got the American Italian version, which is this would be breaded and then fried, and then we're doing a Neapolitan version. So if you want to start salting this eggplant,
all right,
we start. Yeah, because what you want the salt to start sort of pulling out that moisture, right?
Yeah, so it's not soggy.
It's not soggy when you don't have a lot of water in your bake, but also it removes, I think, some of the bitterness. And then you want to take this, once it's sort of been salted, I went ahead and started it a little earlier.
What am I doing?
You can see all that moisture
Tap
sort
it.
of come
all
up,
right,
right? So now you want to blot it. I like to do that with a paper towel.
Okay.
And then so while you're doing that, what we do is it's so very different from like the American style. We just go flour and then right into extra virgin, right into olive oil. I fry in olive oil. And then go ahead, throw some more in the flour.
So that's what makes it Neapolitan.
No, that's actually just the way we're going to assemble it.
May I take the tongs?
Oh, there we go. Yeah, there we go.
Yes, chef.
And then this is what you sort of end up with, right? Because the Neapolitans, you won't always see them frying in olive oil. Because there's a lot of misconceptions about frying in olive oil. You're good, chef.
Thank you.
And they say that it's going to burn or the olive oil doesn't have a high smoke point. But the reality is, you don't want to be frying above 350 anyway.
Okay.
Of course not.
Keep it at 350.
Yeah, have a good thermometer. Keep it at between 350 and 400. It's not going to burn. Nothing bad's going to happen. Everything is going to be okay.
Do I need to hot these at any point? Like, am I doing anything wrong?
You're doing beautifully. Honestly, like I can use the help at the studio.
Yeah, I'm in.
I mean, and I'm a lucky guy.
It must be the glove.
Anyone better than this guy.
So you got the eggplant. How do you prepare before it goes into the dish?
Yeah, so now we're gonna make our casserole, right? And this, eats really well at room temperature, believe it or not.
Amazing.
Well, this is my 8-hour marinara, which is in the cookbook.
Ooh, amazing.
It's a whole process, but what you want to do is start layering that in there.
Layering what?
Yeah,
just putting it in here?
These cooked eggplants and sort of line them up.
I love how Will's doing all the work. By the way, we're ready to eat.
Yeah, and then so what happens is
how many layers are you doing on that, by the way, chef?
Think about like a lasagna, right?
Okay,
so you would go a couple more in there.
A couple more. We need more sauce, though, chef.
You're gonna see. Go right in. Take all the blank space.
Oh, okay. I see.
And then what happened? We would top it with a little more sauce, like this.
Nice, got it.
We would take some basil. Give it a smack before you put it in there. Very important.
Wait, how do you smack basil?
I take basil. I go like this. And you release those essential oils.
Right? Basil.
And then you would keep going. You would keep going and going, right? And what you end up with is this right here. It's the layers of eggplant. You got layers of the undisputed king of all cheeses, Parmigiano Reggiano, some basil.
Here you go,
and then
Will.
I'm going to take this right here.
And you also brought, chef, you brought some meatballs today.
Yeah, I do my meatballs, believe it or not, at Yankee Stadium, and I heard a lot of Yankees talk earlier.
Number one.
Yeah, and so we started doing that a few years ago, which is a really crazy thing for me, being from the Bronx. We grew up in the stadium. So again, I love the meatballs while my mom was frying them and putting them on what she called a mapine, right? So essentially a dish towel. She'd be draining them and then they would go into the sauce. But I would pounce while she was frying them. I liked them before they went into the sauce.
So you started it from an early age.
As you can't tell, I mean, I like meatballs. I've been eating meatballs for a while.
This might be the best eggplant parm I've ever had.
That
and I've had a lot of
it. Really is absolutely excellent.
All right, thank you.
Chef, go ahead.
No, what I'm saying, what's great about this is that it actually eats better when it comes to room temperature. Make it the day before, take it out of your fridge a few hours early, and it's just one of my favorites.
God bless, man.
Well, you're one of our favorites. Thank you for being here, Chef Christian. You can get all of these recipes on GoodMorningAmerica.com. Christian's cookbook, Parm to Table, is out tomorrow. We're going to eat, and we'll be right back. Thanks so much. Molto bene?
Molto bene.
All right, as Rachel just said, this is really, really good. Thank you so much, Chef, and thanks so much to all of you for watching.
Yeah, and for more news, check out Rachel on What You Need to Know anytime on Disney+.
I'm calling dibs on this. Have a good day. See you guys tomorrow.
We're out of here.
Thanks, Chef Christian. Bye,